Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to baseball. We're proud to bring you the 2022 Senior Babe Ruth State Tournament from Hillhouse Park here in Charleston, Missouri, across the Aycorp Media Networks. I'm Tommy Jacobs.
And I'm Terry McVeigh, bringing you all the action this afternoon as we kick off the McDonald's Fighting Squirrels versus the Tropics. There are 3 Squirrels teams, 2 Tropics teams, 1 Perfectos teams, and 1 Orioles teams, all looking for the chance to be the next state champion and a chance to move on to the regional tournament in Albia, Iowa on July 21st through the 25th.
You know, just a reminder, top 2 teams have the opportunity to advance to the regional tournament. So, you know, with the way it's winding down here, who knows how, but it's winding down quick, and we're going to see this could be a good ball game. We got the 19 and under Squirrels and the Tropics as the Squirrels will be the home team, and we got the big left-hander Dawson Crawford on the mound today to go for the Squirrels.
I think it's going to be a good pitching matchup. Dawson Crawford on the bump for the Squirrels, and Nate Rue, an all-state pitcher from Hockham, will be on the mound for the Tropics. And again, this is a huge tournament because the winner of this tournament is really going to be sitting well no matter what happens to qualify for the regional.
You're exactly right. And you're right, Nate Rue's a nice pitcher, and we've had Crawford a couple times. He's a big left-hander, does a good job around the infield. We got basically the same lineup as they've had for the last few games. And here, Crawford's second pitch and a strike called on the outside corner.
James Burnell behind the plate calling balls and strikes, and he has a pretty generous strike zone.
He does. He does a nice job, doesn't he, Terry?
Yeah, he's very consistent.
And here's Crawford's pitch, and Nazarenas drives it to left field, but circling under it to make the catch is Blake Anderson to retire Nazarenas. So for the first out of the game, a nice fly ball out, little lazy fly ball out left field. Terry, the winner of this game will play tomorrow at 7 o'clock. The winner of the 7 o'clock game, where 2 Squirrel teams of the 16 and under are going to go at it.
Yeah, the 18 and under and 16 and under Squirrels will be playing each other in the next game. And again, the winner of that game will play against the winner of this game.
We got a high, that's for ball 2, as Crawford was a little high with that fastball. Around the outfield, got Blake Anderson in left. And then we got Garrison Scott out in center, and boy, he patrols that center very well. And right field is Gavin Jensen. There's a high pop-up, and first baseman over, and got it in foul ground, and bounces out. I think the Sun might have won that one.
Yeah, he was fighting the Sun all the way. It's going to be an error. Let's score as an error on the first baseman.
And you know that was Grant James, and boy, Grant pitched a heck of a game last night. Got a little frustrated there one time, but boy, he did a nice job.
Well, he had that bad inning when the defense behind him had a bad inning.
And here's the 2-1 pitch, and there's a shot out into left center, and that's going to drop in for the first base hit of the day. Drew Dimberger put it out there, and as the old saying, hit it where there ain't.
Well, he got his second chance after the drop of the foul ball. Instead of him being the second out, he's on first base.
Yeah, and then we're facing the third place hitter, Trey Fikes, the catcher. Dawson looks in. He pitcher from a stretch, trying to hold that runner close. And here's the pitch, turns around to bunt, pulls back, and the ball got away from the catcher, but he retrieved it, and the runner stays at first.
Tropics were looking to bunt him over the second, get him in scoring position with 2 outs.
It's good baseball. That's the way you do it.
Well, I think both managers know that runs are going to be at a premium with these pitchers on the mound today.
It's not going to be like both these teams had last time, scoring 17, 18 runs. I don't believe, Terry.
I don't believe so. I don't think the defense is going to allow that. Not only the pitchers, but I don't believe the defense is going to allow those kind of numbers.
We got 1 ball, no strikes. with one out with that runner down at first, and Dawson looked over there. He's going to try to hold him close. As Fike steps in, and here's the pitch. He squares the bunt, and foul for strike one. Anderson's got some, Crawford's got some pretty good stuff. He's a Charleston native here, playing at his home field.
Nornboro's playing close at third base. He's in on the infield grass.
And here's the pitch. He turns it, and it's going to call strike two.
Yeah, he went for it.
He did. Terry, it's a nice warm day here at Hill House Park. See
nice warm day, but not a hot day like we've had in the last couple.
Yeah, and more last night we left the booth. Wasn't it a nice night out? There's a shot out to right field, and we'll see if Jansen can run it down, and it falls in, and we're going to have a runner at first and third as he throws it in and hits the cutoff man to hold that runner to first, but he did his job. He drove that runner around, got on base safely. 88 degrees here at game time at the park here in Charleston.
Jansen made a nice play in right field. The ball had some English on it. It bounced away to him to his left, but he grabbed it with his left hand, bare hand, got the ball back in, holding Fikes to a single.
Stepping in will be the cleanup hitter, the first baseman, Brandon Palmer. And he's got some runner at third and a runner at first. As Crawford goes into his wind and throws in a strike called at the letters. Terry, as you said a while ago, this umpire is a nice umpire, and he's consistent. You're just going to have he's pretty generous for the pitchers, but you adjust, and you'll have a good game.
Well, you know what to expect.
Ball high and outside. Kind of drifted on him a little bit. Even the count at one. Nice crowd. I thought there'd be a little bit more, but this heat might have kept a lot of people away, but they may start drilling in here. Here's Crawford's pitch. There's a ground ball to Charlie Parker. That's going to score a run. Charlie feels it, and Parker hits the runner in the back. Everybody's safe. That puts the Tropics up 1-0 here in the first inning.
And that's going to be a tough throw that was a tough throw to make to try to force the runner. He might have been well advised just to take the easy out at first.
I think you may be right on that. Coming into the hit is the fifth place. The second baseman is Luke Barnes. I think Luke's from Cooter. I'm not sure, but I think so.
I believe so.
And here's Crawford's pitch. Strike, swing and a miss. You know, we knew coming in that these Tropics were a nice team, and from the top of their lineup to the bottom, you know, they're pretty good, just like the Squirrels. There's a foul out of play. That's no ball and 2 strikes. Some people out sitting in the shade here, and the bleachers to our left, Terry, but there's very little shade over there. The rest of them are sitting out enjoying the sun.
With the capacity crowd in the shade.
It's
what shade there is, it's hard to find a seat.
That's right. Well, that was some standing room only over in the shade.
Plenty of space in the sunny part of the stands.
As it brings the count to 1-2, and here's Crawford's pitch. Struck him out swinging for the second out of the inning. Nice pitch by Dawson Crawford.
And a big strikeout leaves that runner out at second base with 2 outs.
Stepping in will be Alden Morgan, the third baseman. Crawford will try to get out of this inning with just that 1 run as the damage, and here's the pitch. High for the ball 1.
Yeah, it's one of those things, those errors are big. Not only does the guy reach base, does the batter, Dernberger, reach base and score. You know, the only run of the game, it should be a 0-0, but he scores the 1 run, but then that's just extra stress pitching on the on Crawford.
Sure is. 2 errors in the first inning. That's not a good way to start. Crawford looks in, gets his sign from his catcher, and here's the delivery, and that's going to be a strike right down the pike to even the count at 1-1. I understand the Cardinals finally got a run across the plate, Terry.
They actually lead the game with 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th, runners at first and third.
Here's Crawford's 1-1 pitch, and it's going to be ball 2.
Now Pujols has 3 hits in the game, including a home run.
Well, that sounds good, doesn't it?
It always sounds good. Getting ready for the All-Star game where he's going to make one more appearance.
Had a fine career.
Oh.
Here's Crawford's pitch, and there's fouled away.
Yeah, the home run today for Pujols tied him with Stan Musial at third most in the history of the game.
Sounds pretty good.
Well,
that's pretty good.
Put your name right there next to Stan Musial.
That's right.
You're in high cotton then.
You betcha. Yeah, you're with the big boys then. Crawford's 2-2 pitch as he looks a runner back, and here's a pitch, and it's another foul straight back. Batter is holding tight in here. He's thought he had a good pitch to hit, and he did. So Morgan's going to get another shot at it and see if Crawford can get out of here, get the Squirrels back to the dugout and get up and start rattling these bats. Be playing from behind when they come in, and there's a shot to center field, but tracking it down will be Scott to retire the side. But after the half inning of play, it is the Tropics 1 and the Squirrels coming to bat. We'll be back. Well, Terry, the old air monster reared its head 2 times in the first inning against the Squirrels.
Yeah, resulted in an earned run, or an unearned run for the Tropics, and now then the Tropics go into the bottom of the first, leading 1-0.
The Squirrels will, of course, be led. They will lead off with Garrison Scott, the center fielder. They've scored 36 runs in the last 2 games, so they got a high-powered offense. But tell you what, you got a cat out there on that mound that's going to try to have a little bit to say about that. We've watched Nate Rue during his high school career, and he's certainly capable of handling business.
Squirrels scored 36 runs in 2 games, but that means absolutely nothing.
Yeah, right.
In a game like this, the Tropics are a better defensive team than what they've faced, and they're facing Nate Rue on the mound.
You pegged it on that as Rue looks in to get his signal against Garrison Scott. And here's the first pitch, and ball will strike on the outside corner.
And again, James Purnell with a pretty generous strike zone, but that's consistent.
Right.
He's always had a generous strike zone.
And Scott was fooled a little bit on that pitch for a swinging strike, too.
Yeah, that was a slider that just took off.
We'll see what Rue can do. Here's the pitch, and it's Richard can't find it, and a throw down to first, and he's going to be safe. Now he's going to head to second. And the ball is in left field, and Scott ends up at second. And we're going to.
Well, the umpire Purnell, and that's his call.
Yes.
That there was a collision between the first baseman and Scott, but Scott was within the baseline. When you're running within the baseline, it's your baseline,
Right.
And it's not interference.
No, that was the right call by Purnell. So a swinging strikeout ends up with the Scott at second base with Jace Aycorp at the plate.
That's going to be that's a strikeout for Rue, but a little
like
solace that it's a strikeout because the runner's at second base.
Right, and Aycorp steps in, and he was going to try to move him over with the bunt as the third baseman moves in, but he pulled back for ball one.
Third baseman way in on the infield grass, looking for the bunt.
And there's nobody watching third base, and Scott wisely came down and stole third. And
Scott
gets a glad hand from Coach Minner.
Yeah, Scott saw that. Usually the defense, if the third base is playing that far in for the bunt, the shortstop wheels around and he'll cover third, but he wasn't there.
There's a ground ball to second, but that's going to score a run, but they get the first out of the inning. And that base running pays off. Right there it was. Scott very smart. Saw the third baseman playing in against the bunt, and he just could have tried it down there, but he didn't,
Well, we've seen several instances in this tournament where the smart base running by the Squirrels has resulted in runs.
Okay, we have Charlie Parker stepping in and here's the pitch with a one-out pitch as a strike one as Charlie fouls it off. Charlie had it inside to Parker here yesterday, and when he rounded third base, I think he pulled a groin muscle, and he had to come out of the game, but talked to him earlier, and he said he was feeling okay. He was ready to go. Got stretched out yesterday. And so Charlie Parker, Three Rivers player. And here's a pitch from Rue, and it's going to be a strike on the outside corner. I think this ump thinks his pitcher's good enough to paint them corners. I'm going to give him a little bit, and I don't blame him.
Well, I think, he's been consistent doing that.
Sure.
Again, that's what you ask for in an umpire.
There's a ball. That's one ball and two strikes on Parker, and Parker's can't be too selective with those two strikes. So a ball and two strikes as Parker steps back in, and Nate Drew gets his signal. Now he steps off. Now he's back on. He's ready to go. And here's the 1-2 pitch, and another one. Oh, he called it.
That was a late break on that one across the outside corner.
And the official is, I think, warning him that time he walked over. And Charlie was aggravated at himself. He's a good enough player to know you don't take anything that close.
Right. Well, it was a late break. It was just a really good pitch.
It was. From where we're sitting up here with a good view of it. Now we're sitting in with the fourth place hitter, Gavin Jansen.
Now, Rue has two strikeouts out of the first three batters, two strikeouts and a ground out, but he's still giving up a run, and there's still only two outs.
And there's a low for ball two. And Nate's delivery a little bit outside, a little bit farther outside that time, so that's a 3-0 count. Right. See if Jansen takes this or if it's something he likes, he will swing it, and we're going to get a runner on with a walk. Walked him on 4 pitches.
Yeah, Rue was shooting for the edge of for the outside corner.
You know, and he's a smart enough pitcher. He knows, hey, I'm getting that corner, and I'm going to go for it.
Well, it'd be like, I think it was Tom Glavine in the World Series one year. He started getting the outside corner, so he kept inching out, and by the end of the game, he's 6 inches outside. He's getting 6 inches outside the corner.
As Blake Anderson steps in, and he takes ball 1 from Rue. Blake's the 5th place hitter. Rue goes into the stretch, looks the runner back. Now here's the pitch. And the breaking ball, and that was a good pitch. It was coming inside, broke over the plate.
Rue has shown that he has a good breaking ball and has pretty good command of it.
Yes, he does. Here's a pitch, and thought about going that, but Anderson held back for a 2-1 count. There's 2 outs here, but the Squirrels have tied it up at 1. 2 good pitchers going at it today. And they go over to first, runner back. You know, Terry, sometimes it's the small things that get you runs, just like the small thing stealing third while ago, noticing nobody was taking the bag. Here's Rue's pitch, and there's a shot out to center field, and the center fielder goes back, and he's got surrounded and retires the Squirrels, but not after they tie it up at 1-1. Going to the top of the second. We'll be back at Hillhouse Park after this.
Growing cotton in the Mid-South is hard work. As a farmer, you make tough decisions every day. Choosing a cotton variety shouldn't be one of them. Next-gen brand varieties from Americot are bred specifically for cotton growers like you. We're 100% independent and farmer-owned. Plant cotton that works as hard as you do. Americot. All we do is cotton, all the time.
We're for agriculture, for growers, doers, whatever it takers. We're for doing things with purpose. We're for the little guy with big guy dreams. We're for agriculture. We're for you. Nutrien Ag Solutions, leading the field.
Sure is. Like we have the pitcher, Nate Rue, the Holcomb alumni, steps in. Here's the second pitch, and it's going to ball 2. It was low. The next game at 7 o'clock is going to be, as they say, squirrels on squirrels. 16
U, 18U.
That little 16 team had the ball game won the other night.
They did.
And I'm glad to see them advancing. And we're 2-1 on Drew as he fouls it back. Now it evens the count at 2. We're glad to bring you this state tournament here in Hillhouse Park. First broadcast of baseball for Aycorp. And I think everything has went pretty well. I've heard some feedback that people are sitting at home enjoying it, and we're glad to bring it. There's a shot and struck him out swinging as Crawford threw it by Nate Rue. Henley, number 17, steps in.
A little bit of breeze, just gentle breeze blowing in from left field. That's
Yeah, the flags are showing it. Stephen Henley steps in, the right fielder. I think he's a South Pembroke product. Start to pitch off with him with a ball. Low and outside. As Crawford looks in, gets his sign. Now here's the pitch. Fouled off to even the count at 1. It's been a long time, Terry. You and I have never done this. A good Sunday afternoon baseball game, sitting in a booth, calling a good game something we love.
It sure is. This is fun.
Yes, it is. Oh, right down the middle for strike 2.
It's a pretty relaxing Sunday afternoon. The weather's great.
Right.
Nice little breeze going. Good setting.
And here's the pitch, and struck him out with a high fastball. 2 strikeouts for Crawford this inning.
3rd in the game.
So who's stepping in now? That'll be Holden Morgan, the 3rd baseman. There's a shot, and it's fouled back. Who was that, Terry?
Clipful, the left fielder, Drew Clipful.
Okay, I had him wrong. I'm going to have to redo my. And there's a pitch and a low for well 1. Evens the count at 1.
The outfield's shallow.
The 9th place hitter. Yeah, now I've got it straight, Terry. I had just written it down wrong. So we're at 1 ball and 2 strikes with 2 outs as Crawford's delivery is low for ball 2.
Well, one of the problems you had, you were taking it off my writing.
Well, if you look at mine, it's not any better. You know, when you go places and you sign your name, they say, will you print it under it? Yeah, it sure will. And Crawford's wind, and there's a shot down the first base, going to go foul. You know, you look at people that have good penmanship, and I don't know what it is. They hold their pencil same as I do. They write with the same hands I do, so I'm doing something wrong, and they're doing something right.
I've tried different grips. That doesn't make any difference whatsoever.
Crawford looks in for his sign. We're 2-2 with 2 outs, and here's the pitch, and it's outside the full count at 3-2. We got the full count with 2 outs, and here's a pitch from Crawford. There's a shot to Charlie Parker. He plays it on a big hop, throws over to first to retire the side. So no runs in the top of the 2nd as the Squirrels come up. We're tied at 1, so we'll be back.
In a very short period of time, we've experienced amazing growth and success at Southeast Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. And through it all, we've had only one goal: to get you back to life. And when things get better, when you feel better, we'll be right here to cheer you on. Southeast Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, always by your side.
Juju Promotions in New Madrid is your one-stop shop for all your personalized merchandise. Whether it's screen printing, embroidery, promotional products, heat presses, or decals, we've got something that will suit your needs. So you, your school, or your business will always be looking its best. There's tons to see, from apparel to accessories. So what are you waiting for? Stop into Juju Promotions today in New Madrid, Missouri. And don't forget to like us on Facebook.
Well, we're ready for the bottom of the 2nd. Been a real nice baseball game up until this point. Nate Rue finishing up his warm-up pitches.
And we just see that the St. Louis Cardinals have won a game.
Really?
They won the game. They scored runs.
They
Yesterday we were thinking about several world events that were going to be triggered by the Cardinals scoring a run.
You got a point.
Whatever we were talking about yesterday, look for them to happen today because the Cardinals scored 4. Albert Pujols hit a home run, had 3 hits, and the Cardinals win 4-3.
Stepping in will be the third baseman, Thornborough. And we're ready as Rue gets his sign, and here comes Rue's pitch to Thornborough. Strike one. Had him reaching.
Another good breaking ball. Rue has really good breaking balls. It looks like he has a couple of them. One looks more like a curve, more of a sweeping curve, but then he has a sharp breaking slider.
Ball got away from him a little bit to even the count at 1. I believe that is. And there's a little chopper going foul as it's retrieved by James and kicked back out there. There's 1 ball, 2 strikes, and that evened it up at 2 with a ball outside.
Again, this is a very important game because the winner of this game has the path free to the to go to the regional because they're going to either be first or second in the tournament.
That's exactly right. Nice fastball by Rue to retire Thornborough. Now stepping in is the 7th place hitter, the first baseman, Grant James. Rue comes set. Now here's the pitch. Strike one on the inside corner.
James kind of gave up on that and
He
broke broke across the inside corner.
Yeah, matter of fact, James bailed out just a little, didn't he?
Yes. Of course, he does stand with his back foot's pretty close to the plate. He has an open stance.
James fouled off for strike 2. These first 2 innings, Rue is really showed signs of wanting to go to the finals. James looks for another fastball, and there it is, and it's fouled off to the left. Oh, that was a big fat one coming at you that time.
It sure was, and James pulled the trigger just a little early on that. Got way out in front of it. Hit a long way, but it was way foul.
No balls and 2 strikes with 1 out here in the bottom of the 2nd. Here's Rue's pitch, and he struck him out. Only nice pitch.
Another good breaking ball by Rue. That's his 3rd strikeout.
Standing in will be the designated hitter, Ben Bledsoe.
I said 3rd. That's his 4th strikeout. Forgot about the leadoff strikeout of Scott.
Here's the pitch, and down the middle, strike for the call, strike 1. It's exactly right. We heard somebody back here make a statement. If you don't hit his fastball, you better not take a fastball because you can't hit his curveball. Well, there's a grounder to short. There's a throw, and they're going to out at first. And so that retires 3 up and 3 down. We'll go to the top of the 3rd. Tied at 1. We'll be back. Well, Terry, we're ready for the top of the third, and Squirrels have looked at the pitcher from Holcomb, Rue, twice, and didn't do much damage either time.
Well, they have the one run that scored when Scott got on a fastball on a strikeout, and then an error on the throw got him to second base, and stole third, and scored on a ground out, and that's the only dent there's been in Rue. Of course, Crawford now has settled down. He was victimized by a couple of errors himself in the first inning, unearned run in the first inning. So it's what it's setting up to be is the pitcher's duel.
It is exactly right. As Nazarenas steps in for the second time today, and we'll see what Crawford can do. As the first pitch was a ball, and there's a second. It's going to be ball 2.
And Nazarenas hit a medium fly ball to left field to lead off the game.
You know, you really don't want to get behind on a hitter like Nazarenas, because, you know, he'll be, if you get down 3 balls and no strike, he'll be waiting on the cherry to pull up there. And there it is, and it's hit it long ways, but oh, what a nice catch by Jansen.
Yeah, Jansen got a little bit turned around and was backpedaling, which not exactly what you want to do, but he stayed with it, reached up and made the play.
So that's the first out of this top of the third, and stepping in is Dernberger. Dernberg is the shortstop, and here's the pitch from Crawford, and it's going to be inside for a ball.
Dernberg got an extra life on his first at bat when his foul pop-up was dropped by the first baseman. Then he ended up singling and came around to score on the error of Parker at second.
We're even at 1 ball and 1 strike as Crawford goes into the wind, and here's the delivery, and it's going to be high for ball 2. Here's Crawford's pitch, and it's going to be a swing and a miss, and I believe he might have got just a little of it.
He did. It was up and out over the plate towards the outside part of the plate.
Right. Crawford trying to protect this 1-1 game to keep the Tropics off the bases as they foul it down the third base line.
Dernberg with a slightly open stance.
There's a shot to third base, and he picks it up, throws it across. A nice play by the third baseman to retire him on a nice throw to first.
Yeah, nice pick with Thornborough, getting over in front of the shortstop. Field that on the short hop. I don't think the shortstop would have had much of a chance to throw out the runner.
I think you're right. I don't think they would either. Here's a pitch from Crawford, called strike 1. Beautiful pitch to Fikes. We got 2 outs here in the top of the third. No ball and 1 strike on Fikes. Crawford's wind. There's the pitch outside to even a count at 1. It'd be nice to see somebody head over Big Nutland out there and bring a little excitement to it, wouldn't it?
Well, that would bring some excitement. We haven't seen many balls.
No.
hit that way or hit that far.
We got a 2-1 count as Crawford looks in, goes into the wind. Here's his pitch, and it's fouled over to the right, so that evens it at 2.
And this ballpark has major league dimensions in the outfield.
Fike steps back in. And here's the 2-2 pitch from Crawford. He goes, here's the pitch, and another one fouled off to the right. So Fox is hanging tough against Crawford.
He's getting some good swings.
Sure is.
He singled his first time up.
Yeah, Terry, you're right. The winner of this game punches their ticket to the regional because they're going to take the first 2 teams out of this. And we caught a ask for time, and the official gives it to him as he steps out, looks down at his coach. Crawford looks in, he takes the signal, and here's the pitch. Close, but a little bit high. Got a full count, 3-2.
Good at bat by Fikes. He's been fighting off anything over the plate and showing a good eye on taking some pitches. That one was close.
Sure was. And they're working Crawford. They're really working him good. He's going going deep in a lot of counts. Here's the wind, and here's the pitch, and there's another foul to the right.
And especially on days like this, although this is a much better day than it was Friday, and also a better day than it was yesterday to be pitching. This is, but still, it is a summer afternoon day, and you don't want to be taking too many extra pitches.
As Crawford come inside and got a little bit too much inside and nicked the batter, so that sends him as a hit batsman down to first. Now it comes in to Palmer, the first baseman. He's the cleanup man.
Palmer hit the ground ball to Parker that resulted in the error that scored the run because it was the fielder's choice. Palmer will get credit for an RBI.
Here's the pitch, swing and a miss, strike 1. We got the runner down at first, being held pretty close. It's a courtesy runner, so you figure he's probably got some speed. He dances off of first, but now they call a strike on the inside corner. He tried to sell it, but it didn't work, did Terry?
Umpire's right there. He sets up over the left shoulder of the catcher, and that's right there looking at the inside corner.
Runner goes, and there's a shot out to center field, and the G-man under it makes the catch to retire the side. So we're still tied at 1 after 2.5 innings. We'll be back in a bit.
To make the right decisions for your operation, you need 2 things: accurate, secure data, and the ability to make it work for you. Introducing AFS Connect Advanced Farming Systems from Case IH. AFS Connect puts you in total command of your operation, bringing together your farm, fleet, and data like never before, with ongoing support from your Case IH dealer every step of the way, so you can increase efficiency year-round. Whether you're optimizing soil conditions, managing nutrients, planting, or harvesting, AFS Connect allows you to remotely monitor every machine. You'll have access to location, diagnostics, fuel, and engine data, giving you the information you need to make the right decisions for your operation. Now that's rethinking productivity.
Well, we're ready for the bottom of the third. The defending state champion Squirrels tied up after 2.5 innings to see who's going to going across for the opportunity to play for the state championship. The loser of this game will play at, let's see, they will play at 4 p.m. tomorrow. And then the winner of that will play the winner of this game. It's kind of confusing, but if you learn to read like I need to do, you know, you can figure this out. We're going to see who's stepping in. I believe that's the catcher. And fouled it off. Jacob Guest.
Double elimination tournament, which is basically what this is a double elimination tournament. With baseball, can stretch out because there aren't enough pitchers to go around.
Right.
And you got to have pitchers, and so they stretch out extra days. If whoever wins this game plays tomorrow, if they, of course, win that game, then they're the state champions. But if they lose that game, they're going to turn around, play again on Tuesday.
That is correct. Guest evens the count at 1, and he takes a strike on the outside corner. And you know, these batters have been in front of this ump for several games, and they've got to learn him because he's an excellent ump. Strike 3 as he blew it by him, so he goes down swinging.
Yeah, that's 5 strikeouts here with 1 out in the third for Rue, and that breaking ball is just, they're not getting close to it. They're just waving at it.
Garrison Scott, the leadoff man, is up, and ball took a little bounce with ball 1. You know, they haven't even really came close to that breaking ball. A lot of them have just give up on it.
Well, Scott struck out in the first inning. Ball got past the catcher. He got down. He got the first and then advanced the second on the throwing error of the catcher.
And here's the pitch to Scott, and it's going to be a call strike.
Another good breaking ball by Rue. He's getting his breaking ball over. He's getting his breaking ball over on the inside part of the plate. And that one went right across the plate. He's getting it over on his inside part of the plate, and then he's also throwing it towards the outside part of the plate where he's getting the swings and misses.
Scott finds himself in the hole. 1 ball and 2 strikes as Rue has just been in command of his pitches today. And here's the pitch to Scott, and he waved at it for a strike out.
Again, that's a breaking ball on the outside part of the plate.
Here comes Aycorp in. Hits from the left side of the plate. Nate Rue is really in command of this game.
Aycorp has the only RBI for the Squirrels. After Scott made his way to third, Aycorp hit a ground ball to second base and scored the run.
Outside pitch for ball 1. Morgan's coming in on the grass. You know, they know the speed of Aycorp, and he moves on in closer. And I don't think there's any, of course, maybe they think he might want to lay a bunt down and beat it out, and he can do that.
Well, I think they have, they don't think Aycorp's going to get around or is going to hit the ball that way. You know, left-hander, he does pull the ball, but Aycorp has speed, and in a game like this, pitcher's duel, you're going to be scrapping for every base and scrapping for every run, and a bunt may be a good play.
There's a pitch and a call strike on the outside corner to even up at 2. So we're at the old familiar 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs.
That was one that the batter pretty much gave up on, and it broke right across the plate. Rue is on it right now.
And he goes a little too far outside that time that brings it to a 3-2 count as Charlie Parker on deck. Charlie went down swinging last time too, I think.
He did. Well, he didn't go down swinging.
Or got called out, yeah.
Got called out.
And here's a pitch from Rue and to Aycorp, and Rue almost blew it by him, but Aycorp hung tough to get a piece of it.
That was pretty much that's a defensive stay alive swing, but
Right.
but that's what you do. If it's not a ball you can drive, you just make sure you stay alive. Wait for the next one.
Aycorp steps in on a 3-2 count with 2 outs, and here's a pitch, and he struck him out for the 3rd out of the inning, and so we're still tied at 1. Going to the top of the 4th. We'll be back.
Juju Promotions in New Madrid is your one-stop shop for all your personalized merchandise. Whether it's screen printing, embroidery, promotional products, heat presses, or decals, we've got something that will suit your needs. So you, your school, or your business will always be looking its best. There's tons to see, from apparel to accessories. So what are you waiting for? Stop into Juju Promotions today in New Madrid, Missouri. And don't forget to like us on Facebook.
Well, we're at the top of the 4th as Ruth has held the Squirrels hitless.
Squirrels are hitless, and he struck out seven squirrels in 3 innings, and 5 out of the last 6 batters he's he's struck them out swinging.
Yeah.
Which tells you he's got some stuff that swinging this stuff.
Luke Barnes steps in, the second baseman, to face Crawford. Crawford, first pitch, in there for a strike.
Barnes is a strikeout victim his first time up in the first inning.
Here's the second pitch to Barnes, and he fouls it off to the right for no balls and 2-strike count. We just can't say enough about the curveball that Rue possesses. It's just done a lot of damage, and it's just hard to catch up with. And he's got very good command of it.
Yeah, and right now, as of right now in the game,
Right.
the Squirrels can't hit it. And Crawford's throwing a good game. He's throwing a very good game, but he's going deep in counts. I think you said that most of the hitters, he's getting multiple pitches. He's going deep in the counts, and the pitch count adds up. And the stress adds up.
Here's a pitch for a swing and a miss for the strikeout. Nice pitch by Crawford.
Second strikeout on Barnes, and that's the 4th for Crawford.
The third baseman, Aiden Morgan,
Flied
steps
out to center field, make the 3rd out in the first inning.
Crawford's pitch. He's into the wind, and here it comes, and it crawls on the outside, high and outside.
Squirrels playing pretty straight away. Outfield at medium depth.
Here's a pitch to Morgan, and it's going to be ball 2. The pitch was a little bit low, according to James Purnell. And here's the next pitch, and he went deep in this count. It's 3 balls and no strikes.
It's a nothing game. I'm guessing Morgan's going to be taking on this pitch.
Well, you would think, wouldn't you?
But again, Crawford doesn't have any walks. He hasn't walked anybody. Now he has.
Yeah, he has. That pitch was across the plate, but it was low. And the pitcher, Nate Rue, steps in to see if he can help his own cause.
He was a swing and miss strikeout victim leading off the second.
And this sure tells the tale about you're facing a good a hurdler as Nate Ruth. You don't make mistakes like the 2 errors in the first inning.
That's right.
There's the throw over to first, runner back.
You know, and Rue's been a dominant pitcher for the first 3 innings of this game, but when he's not pitching, he's playing shortstop. So that tells you he's pretty high up on the rankings of the players on the Tropics.
And that's sure understandable. And here's the pitch from Crawford. That's going to be outside for ball 1. Looks like some of the 18 and under Squirrels under us cheering on their teammates as a fast ball down the middle for a strike. Blake Wagster comes in, and where Blake Wagster is, his dad will be pretty close because he comes to watch this boy whatever he's doing, and that's great. Known Neil for years. And here's the pitch, and the runner goes, and he's going to have that one stolen as he slides in safely at second. They kind of forgot about him over there on that, and he got a decent jump on him. And
got a good jump, and throw was good, I guess.
Yeah.
He was right on the money and a good throw, but Morgan had a good jump off first, and that changes things up. Let's see if Ruth can move him along.
Here's a pitch to Rue, and it's back to Crawford, and he goes to first and record the second out, and he did the right thing. He looked that runner back to second, and then he went to first. Had plenty of time after knocking it down. The ball was hit pretty hard.
It was hit hard and right at him. He made the reflexive move to knock it down, and gathered himself. That's kind of a scary situation. The ball gets shot right back at you, but he knocked it down and gathered himself and made a good throw to first. Manager Mike Minner is now out talking to Crawford and the infield. Crawford did a good job of holding that runner at second.
He did. It sure did. Now, the meeting on the mound is over as Minner heads back to the dugout, and we'll see what happens as looks like number 17 steps in. That's Stephen Henley out of South Pim.
He was a swing and miss strikeout victim in the second. Crawford has 4 strikeouts. Here with 2 outs in the fourth.
Runner on second. He takes his lead. Crawford looks back, and here's the pitch home, and that's fouled off for strike 1. Yeah, Crawford hadn't pitched a bad game. It's just
not bad at all.
So he's pitching. He's getting a lot of pitches.
Yeah, I just want to see how that, what that means in the next, couple of innings from now.
Right. But this is what you expect, isn't it, Terry? A good game like this, and at this time of the year.
Semifinal game of the state tournament.
Oh, there was a swing on the inside pitch, and really kind of might have just tried to fight that off a little bit.
Yeah, he didn't have a good swing at that. It came in on him. I think he was waiting for it to stay out, and it came in on him. He really didn't have a chance to hit that. It was an excellent pitch, right in on his hands.
We got no balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs with the runner out at second, and here's Crawford's pitch home, and it was close, but it was they called it a ball, so that's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Good play by Guest. Stop it.
Pretty impressed with Guest as a catcher.
He's a good catcher.
He sure is. Now, is he for Cooter, I think, also? I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
I think he's a young player, if I'm thinking of the right one. Here's a pitch from Crawford. Foul back for still hanging tough is Henley. Crawford's thrown a lot of pitches.
Yeah, with 2 outs in the fourth. He's thrown 76 pitches.
And here's the pitch from Crawford, and he struck him out, threw it by him to end the inning, and we stay at 1. Going to the bottom of the 4th. We'll be back at Hill House Park for this semifinal game after this.
First State Bank and Trust is more than just products and services. We're there for you for your first paycheck, buying a home, opening a small business, starting a family, or planning to retire, and everything in between. We're the local bank you know and trust for all of your financial needs. Visit fsbtrust.com or stop by your local First State Bank and Trust to explore all of your financial options. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Well, we'll see what happens in the bottom of the 4th. I think Charlie Parker will lead things off for the Squirrels.
Parker looked at the call, third strike his first time up, but Rue is 7 strikeouts here in the first 3 innings. And after Squirrels got the leadoff man on a strikeout, they've received 1 walk.
Parker steps in, and we have got Gavin Jansen on deck for the Squirrels. So we'll see what Charlie looking at Rue for the second time through the lineup, and he shoots it back up the middle for a base hit. Just by Rue, and Parker on first. First pitch hit.
First pitch. Yeah. Jumped on the first pitch, got a good swing at it right up the middle. Didn't try to kill it, just nice stroke. Good base hit. And the first hit for the Squirrels in this game, and we're in the bottom of the 4th.
We're going to have Gavin Jansen, the cleanup hitter, stepping in with Blake Anderson on deck.
See what the Squirrels do. We've got to finally got a runner on first. See how Rue reacts to that. Third baseman is way in on the grass. He's probably 10 feet in on the infield.
As he squares and pulls back. Yeah, you're right. He's way in.
And he's charging. And charging.
You know, Squirrels got something going with their order because they've got the leading RBI man on deck. And so maybe it's time that they can do some damage, but this Rue's going to be a hard thing to crack. He's doing a nice job, and there's the pitch, and it's going to be low for ball 2.
And one of the things that the Squirrels will be wanting to do is putting some pressure on the defense. You know, they haven't put much pressure on defense because when you're swinging and missing, the infield tends to relax.
Rue looks Charlie Parker back, now delivers, and it's going to be ball 3. So he's went 3 balls and no strikes on this 5th place hitter, or 4th place hitter, Jansen. Jansen has some pop in that bat. If he gets around, he hits from the left side of the plate. Third baseman still in, and there's a nice strike down the pike.
Taken all the way.
Yes, he was.
We'll see if he'd squirt around the bunt a couple of times in this at bat. We'll see if that's still on. Third baseman in, just barely in on the grass.
Parker has a nice lead at first, and here's a pitch by Rue, and there's a swing and a miss for strike 2. He went 3 balls and no strikes, and he's come back to full count, 3-2.
Could be a big pitch because the runner at first seemed to affected Rue somewhat.
Uh-huh.
You know, he had a little trouble three straight balls to Jansen.
You'll see if they put Parker in motion, and they do. And there goes Parker to second. And there's a throw down the second safe, but they punched the batter out and on the 3-2 pitch. So that retires Jansen.
Good move getting Parker started.
Sure was.
Even though it's another strikeout, 8th strikeout for Ruth. Now the Squirrels have a runner at second base with 1 out.
And the ever dangerous Blake Anderson, the 5th place hitter, the leading RBI man for the Squirrels, as they look Parker back. And here's a pitch to it by him for a swing and a miss.
My guess that was another breaking ball.
Yeah, I would say so.
That was a sweeping breaking ball that the Squirrels just have not been able to put any bat on at all.
And Parker leads. Now he goes back, and there's a ball. Gets away from the catcher, and Parker is going to try to go to third, and I believe they nailed him at third base, and Minner is not happy with that call at all. He's coming out, and he's telling Eric Johnson all about that, and I think he might have a reason to be
He might be. The way Parker slid and where the throw was, looked like his right hand got into the bag. That the throw beat him, but I think Parker got his right hand in, and that's what Mike Minner is pointing out to the umpire. Now, of course,
and we
know what the result of that's going to be.
Yeah, and Minner had a better look than the official.
Yeah, he had a better angle on it.
Yeah, better angle, but that brings up the second out of the inning, and that hurts. That was big.
Yeah, I think he did the right thing with taking off, and although the throw was there, I think he got in around the tag.
Here's a pitch to Anderson for a called strike, and so we got a 1 ball and 2 strikes with a missed opportunity, and I thought Parker was in there, but he's not. He didn't get the call, so life goes on. We'll see what happens.
But you want to stay, especially in a game like this, you want to stay aggressive on the base.
Yeah, because he got to see that curveball, and he swung and missed. Anderson retired, and so we're still, after 4, we're still tied at 1, so we'll be back after a moment.
Autry Moreland wants to buy your car. Big cars, small cars, fast cars, and funny cars. If it's got 4 wheels and an engine, we're swiping right. We've got the largest pre-owned inventory in Southeast Missouri, right here at Autry Moreland Automotive. Even if Moreland's not on the back of your car, we're still interested. There's never been a better time to make a change. Come to one of our 5 Autry Moreland locations in Dexter or in Sykeston, Missouri, and let us help you turn what you have into what you want.
Does your business need, literally anything? When we founded CNS Cleaning Supply, our goal was simple. Become a one-stop shop for anything and everything your operation might want. From car care to condiments, mops to markers, soaps to staplers, and everything in between. Which is a lot. CNS has got you covered. Give Delane Beckwith a call at 573-217-0104 or visit cscleaningsupply.com to get set up with, well, literally everything. Tell them Delane sent you.
Well, Terry, the Squirrels got off to a pretty good start with Charlie Parker, the leadoff man, getting on and stealing second, and controversial call at third base. But Drew got out of that inning.
And struck out the last 2 batters. He struck out 9 in 4 innings.
And we'll see what Crawford can do as he brings the pitch in a little bit low for ball 1.
Drew Clipful grounded out the second his first time.
Lefty against lefty as Crawford looks in, and here's the pitch, and it's going to be strike on the outside corner. So Crawford painted the outside corner, and that's where they need to be.
It's been a strike all game.
Sure has. Here's the pitch, and it's going to be another one on the outside corner for strike 2. So we got 1 ball and 2 strikes to start this top of the 5th with Clifford at the plate. And Crawford's pitch and a swing and a miss struck him out to record the first out of this inning. You know, both these teams scored in the first inning, and we've been dry since.
At top of the top of the fifth. Now Crawford has 6 strikeouts. Lots of swings and lots of misses.
Sure is. Both these pitchers are in pretty good command right now, and we're going to bring in number 5. That's Nazarenas. He tagged the ball pretty hard. Now, I think it was to right field.
Well, he had a really good ball to right field. When he started out the game with a pretty good ball to medium center field.
So he'll give that thing a ride if he gets opportunity. You give him a good pitch and he's gonna make contact. Real good play out in right field. Jansen made a heck of a play on him.
Yes.
Crawford shakes off the sign. Now he's ready. Now here comes the pitch, and it's going to be high and inside to even it up at 1. Hayden Nazarenas goes to school at Cooter. Have a good baseball program at Cooter.
They sure do. Last year, the last few years, they've just been consistently good, right, and always in the hunt for sectional.
As Crawford got the call on the outside corner to record the second strike, so it's 1-2 with 1 out here in the top of the 5th, and here's Crawford. Oh, he took a little bit off of it, and it floated inside.
Yeah, didn't get on top of that. Probably a good thing it floated inside and didn't float over the plate.
Yeah, he's glad to get that one back. So we're all at 2-2. As Nazarenas steps in, now he's ready, and so is Crawford, and here he comes with his pitch. And he's shot to Charlie Parker as Charlie fields it cleanly, throws to first, and got him. Boy, he pulled him off, but they got back. Grant James stepped back and recorded the out, so that's the second out of the inning.
They kind of floated that ball over to first and drew James off, but James makes a good play.
It's going to bring in Durenberger. With 2 outs here in the top of the 5th, and we'll see what Crawford can do. And there's a pitch, and it's going to be high for ball 1. Dawson Carter, the Charleston native, delivers, and there's a shot to third base, and it's fielded cleanly on a hop and across the diamond to retire to side. So we'll go to the bottom of the 5th. Still tied at 1 in this semifinal contest from Hillhouse Park. We'll be right back.
Person comes into Clarktonian, the first thing I look for when I step out of the kitchen is I look for people that's smiling, because if they're not smiling, then we're doing something wrong. Obviously we want them to have good food and good service, but we want them to have a good time. So if you come and eat with us and you're not having a good time, I'm going to come to your table and ask you if something wrong, because we pride ourselves on everybody smiling that comes in. So when you think of Clarkton, we want you to think the Clarktonian.
Howell Funeral Home in Canton, Missouri is here to provide comfort in your most trying time. We'll be with you every step of the way, from planning to final arrangements. With live streaming options and a quality that gives your loved ones the care they deserve. With a modern facility and the willingness to make a difference.
Because there is a difference, there is Powell Funeral and Cremation Services.
Well, we'll see if the Squirrels can get something going. We've got a nice ball game, 1-1. Both teams scored in the first inning. Now we're at the bottom of the 5th, and we're still at 1-1. So the pitchers have really had a nice outing, both of them.
Well, even though both teams scored in the first, we said after the first that the way the pitchers were throwing this, this was setting up to be a pitcher's duel, and this certainly is. And 2 good pitchers having one.
Well, we're ready. We'll see who's stepping in.
Thornborough.
Thornborough, the third baseman. He'll be facing Rue. 9 strikeouts for Rue on this guy. There's strike one on a curveball, and missed it pretty good.
Yeah, that ball wasn't going to go anywhere because bat on it. Rue's only thrown 55 pitches coming into the 5th inning.
There's low for ball one to even the count.
Thornborough was a strikeout victim, swing and miss strikeout victim in the 2nd. But again, there's been a lot of strikeout victims.
Gets under it, drives it to left field, but the left fielder had him played pretty good. Gets under it to record the out, first out of the 5th inning for the Squirrels. I'll say hello to Aaron and Rick Bunning. I know they're watching back in Camel. That is Charlie Parker's uncle and granddad, and they're always tuned in to watch. And I would say his mother is here.
I'd be surprised if she wasn't.
Cameron Parker. And the Bunning family's a good family. And I just was wondering what Rick's thinking about this game, because I bet he's on edge.
Oh, don't you know it? Every pitch.
You bet. And here's the pitch, and there's a curveball, and he could not catch up with it for James. Makes the count, no balls and 2 strikes. And that's what this pitcher stays ahead of the hitters.
Well, he's only thrown 55 pitches coming into the 5th inning. That's really efficient.
You bet. It's a lot. I know it's a lot better for him and the coaching staff to look up there and see no balls and 2 strikes than look up there and see 2-0 or 3-0. That's dangerous.
He has gotten ahead of most hitters. In the last inning he did. Guess he got behind Jansen 3-0, but then ends up striking him out. That's been very few hitters he hadn't got in front of.
Drew looks in, and here's the delivery, and it's fouled off to the right. It stays the same, 1 ball and 2 strikes. What a nice outing for these 2 pitchers. And really, this is what you expect. As the comes inside and breaks him back off the plate. It's 2-2 now as James step back. And I don't blame him, because that fastball was coming in there pretty hard.
Came in pretty hard and didn't miss him by much.
It sure didn't. Here's the pitch from Rue, and fouls it off, stays alive.
Had a pretty good swing at that one.
Yes, he did, Terry.
Rue's having to work a little bit more in this inning.
Yeah, they worked him a little bit. And here's the pitch from Rue, and they threw it by him to record the 2nd out of the inning.
Just the fastball that blew by him. It was, that when you have a curveball, curveball that he has, then when you can bust the fastball right across the plate, you get him looking for the curveball, you bust the fastball on him. That fastball.
Bledsoe drills it out to left field, but a long out because the left fielder was playing him perfectly to record that. So after 5, we're still tied at 1, and we'll be back after this.
At Focus Bank, we believe in really free checking. What does that mean? Well, opening an account requires no more than $25 with no minimum balance requirements or monthly service charges. You'll also have access to online and mobile banking, online bill pay, direct deposits, mobile deposits, automatic payments, e-statements, a nationwide network of ATMs, and an instant issue debit card, all for free. Your first order of checks is on the house, and you'll also receive a complimentary thank you gift. Come visit us in sites in Charleston, Crothersville, or East Prairie. Focus Bank, simple, hassle-free checking that's really free.
Terry, this game is quickly getting by. We're at the top of the 6th inning and we're still tied at 1. And we want to remind everyone we will be back tomorrow afternoon at 4 o'clock to bring you the winner of this game. Or I'm sorry, the winner of the Squirrels Tropics game will be at 7 o'clock. And the championship, well, they've got the misprint here. Tomorrow afternoon at 4, the loser of this game plays, well, high pop over the mound, takes a bounce, safe at first. The loser of this game will fall down and play the Squirrels 16 and under tomorrow at 4. The winner of that will play the winner of this game at 7 o'clock for the championship. That's you'll always take them. That's kind of like in basketball when you throw it in a half court, still count.
That's right. Well, that's just they don't use the term Baltimore chop a whole lot anymore, but that's exactly what that was. It bounced off the.
What a nice bunt, lay it out in front of the plate. Nice decision from Guest, the catcher, not to go to second base and record the out at first.
Tropics playing small ball. They know how important any run is. It's not one of those where one team's going to score 19 and the other's going to score 15.
Yeah, that's true.
One more run may be it.
They'll bring in Luke Barnes, the second baseman, and they ball low. Barnes got that runner out at second with 1 out. And 1 ball count on Barnes. As here comes a pitch from Crawford, and he puts a little, nice play by the third baseman, looks the runner back to second and throws him out at first. What a nice play by the third baseman for the Squirrels.
This type of defense, this type of baseball that we expect in this tournament. That you get to the best two.
Right.
Really, these are the best 2 teams in the tournament. This is the kind of play you expect. Good crisp play, good defensive play, good pitching.
There's a pitch, and I blew it by him. But Dylan Thornborough made a nice play at third and did the correct thing, is looking that runner back and then going across the diamond to record the out. But that really was an impressive play.
And the play you have to make.
You bet.
And again, holding that runner at second, even though there's 2 outs, it's a whole lot easier to score from third than it is from second.
You bet.
There like 9 ways you can score from third base.
We got the Alden Morgan in. Alden's a third baseman, and here's the pitch, fouled off to the right to 1 ball and 2 strikes. And so Crawford has him set up.
Morgan's drawn the only walk that Crawford's given up in this game. In the 4th, he walked, stole second, died at second, flied out to center field in the 1st.
Crawford looks in, gets the sign, comes set. Here's a pitch, high inside to even the count at 2. Dawson Crawford has, as we've talked, we don't want to keep throwing the sand at you, but he's pitched a good game also, and Nate Rue has pitched an outstanding game.
He's pitched a good game, but he's in the mid-90s.
There's a shot out to right field to record the out. Jansen surrounded it and got it, and so we're going to go to the bottom of the 6th in this very good pitching contest between 2 very, very fine teams, and we'll be back in just a moment.
It takes a lot to make a home, and no one knows that better than WW Wood. It takes a plan and a steady hand to start the process, the knowledge and know-how to make those necessary cuts, craftsmanship to shape out an idea, and the artistry to add in the fine details and final touches. Our employees are right there with you, bringing it all together to make a quality and custom product that makes your home uniquely yours. So thank you for allowing WW Wood to make your house feel like a home.
We're right here at King Jerry Lawler's Hall of Fame Bar and Grill on world famous Beale Street, and as you can see, oh my gosh, we have the best barbecue ribs in Memphis. Oh my gosh, the gumbo is out of this world, but you gotta try the King's Triple Decker Slam Burger. You'll love it.
Well, looks like the leadoff Squirrel will be the catcher, number 14, Jacob Guest.
He's strikeout victim in third. Squirrels only have one hit, and they have one hit, and Rue has walked only one. Walked one, struck out 10, given up one unearned run. Both pitchers, the way as I scored, have given up one unearned run.
Well, Guest steps in to face Rue. And here's the first pitch from Rue, and it's going to be a swing and a miss from Guest for strike one.
Again, if he can get that good fastball over and then follow it up with a good breaking ball like that one.
It's going to be trouble, but Rue's got it and records the out at first. Nice throw it to first by Rue. Stepping in will be Garrison Scott, the center fielder.
Which again, Rue normally when he's not pitching, he's playing shortstop. Yeah. So he's a baseball player.
Yes, he is. And he's going to play about anywhere you want to put him.
Yes.
He's going to do the job. Got the umpire out talking to him, but don't think it's nothing. Well, he's taking the ball, throwing it out of play. And we're going to bring in the always dangerous Garrison Scott.
Scott has scored the run for the Squirrels. He got struck out in the first, but the ball got past the catcher, and on the throw to first by the catcher, it was thrown into right field, which allowed Scott to get to second base. Then he had a good heads-up steal at third.
He lines that thing deep to center field, but the center fielder is back and makes the catch for the second out.
That's a good play. He stepped, we made the first step in, but then he righted himself and got a good beat on the ball. And again, just both of these teams are just playing good baseball right now.
That's right. Stepping in will be Jace Aycorp. He's driven in the only run of the game, and he bounces it to second. Field, and there was an error on the second baseman, just misplayed it. And Aycorp's going to try for second, and he's going to be in there safe. What a huge play that was.
Huge play because, again, I guess it's two-base error on the second baseman. I was watching the ball go out there and said, well, he got the easy hop. Yeah. He couldn't have gotten a better one because it comes right up to him, and he just went through him.
And I would have never thought, and apparently the outfielders would have never thought that the speedy Aycorp was going to take second on that.
Well, you give credit to Aycorp. He hits a ground ball that you say, well, I'm going to be out at first base. It's easy play at first base for the infield, but he doesn't give up at all and just keeps going. He's hustling all the way, and that's why he's at second base in scoring position with Charlie Parker up, and Parker has the only hit for the Squirrels. He got a good solid single his last time up.
We're having a lengthy discussion on the mound, and the umpire's going to go out and tell him to break this up and let's play some baseball. And I know Parker is ready to step in there, and we know everything's all right, and he's certainly not going to pull his pitcher out. You can bet on that.
Good Lord, no.
just going to try to settle them down after that era. And,
well, and you don't know. You kind of wonder what the whole conversation was about. You're probably going to make sure they'll keep a good eye on Aycorp at second because, as valuable as any stretch of 90 feet is, every base is important in this game. But 2 outs, they're not going to be bunting.
Charlie Parker steps in. Here's a pitch from Ruth outside for the ball 1. And they're probably saying the conversation entered that, remember, this is the guy that's got the only hit for the Squirrels, and he can be dangerous. And so
he can be dangerous, and maybe they may be pitching around it.
They may be, because they throw 2 pitches pretty wide outside.
Yeah, they may be pitching around him. First base is open.
Minner looking at his runner, and they're going to pitch around him, Terry. It's kind of like Minner did it. Brought a high school team at Mullen a few years ago. Mullen had a good baseball team. They're just going to put him on.
Okay, they're just putting him on.
And he brought a team. Tanner Murphy was on there, and when he walked in that day, Minner said, "Well, I tell you what, we came to play, but I'm going to tell you, he's not going to beat us."
Yeah, he's not the guy who's going to beat you.
And he walked him every time.
You're not going to let the best hitter beat you.
And they beat, and Charleston come over and won. Said Murphy is not going to beat us.
Jensen comes to the plate. He was a strikeout victim looking his last time. Rue has 10 strikeouts.
And records the first strike on Jensen. We got the 2 pretty good base runners in Parker and Aycorp, but they got 2 outs. And going into the stretch, and they look Aycorp back, and then they go outside for ball 1. Go ahead run out at second with 2 outs as Rue goes into his stretch, looks back, and here's the pitch, and it's also outside. Oh, no, they call that a strike.
No, it came breaking in. It came breaking in over the outside corner, and again, that has been a strike this whole game.
Yeah, he's called it all game. Can't complain.
And all tournament. I mean,
right.
That's been a strike for Purnell, the umpire this whole tournament.
One of the better umpires around, in my opinion. He does an excellent job. And there's a pitch outside. It was a little bit too far outside then to bring it to a 2-2 count.
Yeah, he's trying to get another one.
Yeah. And you may see this thing cut back across the plate. I believe somebody was talking over there, and I turned around and looked at them, and I believe we're ready to play ball now. 2 on, 2 outs. And here's a pitch, and there's a chopper to the shortstop, and Durenberger throws it to second to no call. And there's a runner coming in, and they nailed him at the plate. There was a call out there, and now Minner's out on Eric Johnson again.
The force play at second, very close.
Yes.
Very close. I don't know that the runner didn't beat the throw, but the umpire did not even make a call.
No.
The runner from the Squirrels came all the way around to score, and then finally, when the runner was about halfway to home or almost to home, he finally calls the out. No call. He made no call at all until the Squirrels were getting ready to score.
Well, Minner's still out there just pleading his case. He pointed over to third. I think if I could read his list, probably said, "What about this one a while ago? Now this one." And, he just stood there and not make a call. And
he made no call, but eventually he did make the call. But Aycorp was about to cross the plate.
Now, see, I'm not even going to say that. Started to say this is typical. Now he's arguing with the fans, and so Anyway, we'll see what happens. This is not just a game. This is an opportunity for a lot of these young men to advance, and so you got to be on top of your game.
Yeah. No runs, 1 error, 2 left.
Anyway, boy, isn't it fun, Terry?
Well, yeah. Unless you're the guy that's just about getting ready to score.
Oh my!
and then an out is called second base. That happened about 10 seconds before that.
Anyway, we'll see what happens here. We're still tied at 1, and we even forgot to take a break. We were so excited during that.
Well, that's the type of play that can decide the game.
Yeah.
And here's the 2 best teams in the tournament. So that's also the type of play that can decide who's going to be the state champion.
That's right. And it shouldn't come down to something like that, but.
Well, if he was out.
Yeah, called it. Pop him out of there. And there's a second. Let me get back to the game. Number 22 is stepping in. That is the pitcher, Nate Rue. He's a 7th place hitter. And it is 2 balls and no strikes here in a very, very good baseball game.
And Crawford's only given up 2 hits.
It's going to be.
Which is one more than the Squirrels have, or one more than the Tropics. Back up. One more than the Squirrels have.
Crawford's went deep in the count. He's down 3 balls and no strikes as he looks into Nate Rue. And there's a shot down the middle for the strike called. As Crawford looks in, and here's the pitch to Rue, and Rue drives it to center field, but looks like Garrison Scott records the out.
Fly ball to center field against the Squirrels is going to be an out.
Yeah.
Garrison Scott plays a very good center field, covers a lot of ground, doesn't get fooled by the bat off the ball. By the ball off the bat, I would say.
Stephen Henley, the right fielder, steps in to face Crawford.
He struck out twice.
And here's the pitch, and that's going to be a strike 1 called. Crawford's second delivery, and it's going to be strike 2 called. And those look like they're right down the middle.
Crawford's going to be, I think the pitch limit in this tournament is 105. Crawford has got to be getting very close.
Got to be. Crawford shakes him off. Now he gets the pitch that he wants, and he brings it home, and it's going to be a little outside for 1 ball and 2 strikes with 1 out in the top of the 7th. Here we may get some extra baseball today. But we'll see what the Squirrels with this game, see what they do the rest of this inning, and the Squirrels got 7 end of the 7th, so we'll see as Crawford brings it and evens the count at 2.
Looks like Logan is warming up for the Squirrels.
He came in and pitched a little bit yesterday, did a pretty good job.
He did.
Yeah, this is going to be got to be getting close to the as Dawson brings it. There's a foul ball out of play off to the right. Oh, well, all things happen in the world of sports. Here's Crawford's delivery. Struck him out, blew it by him for the 2nd out of the inning.
3rd time that Henley struck out.
And here comes Minner, and we may have a pitching change because we're probably close to that pitch count, would you say, Terry?
That's the only reason you'd be changing pitchers. Crawford has pitched an excellent game.
He sure is. And that's going to bring in, is that Heath McCain? Number 18? I think it may be, but we'll see. And that will be the last time that they will see Crawford in this park, because he's had his time in there and he done a good job. He's held this to 1-1 score, and what a nice game he has.
Gave up one unearned run.
But we'll see what Heath McCain can do.
Is that James or is that the Vance Light?
Yeah. He comes in and Harrington just the 2 outs, and so Michael Miller making his way back to the dugout. You can tell he's still frustrated. You know, sometimes you say things like at Little League games, you say don't get on the officials, you know, they're volunteers. But when you get up to this level, you're drawing pay to be on your toes, be on your best game.
Yeah, and there's just sometimes that it's called for.
Right, exactly. And anyway, we'll see what happens the rest of this game with Heath McCain coming in. And the umpire walks out, and we have a little discussion, and we're about ready to finish this top of the 7th up with 2 outs. Is that 19?
It's Preston Van Dyke's coming in.
Oh, I'm sorry. Me sitting here looking at that, calling him McCain was right in front of it. But yeah, it is Preston McCain. Need to get my glasses checked. But anyway, he's a 139 ERA on Van Dyke.
Van Dyke's a good player. He catches, does a lot of catching for the Squirrels.
Yes, he does.
But has an excellent ERA. Comes in with nobody on, 2 outs.
You know, you got to be a little more confident when you come in with nobody on, with 2 outs, and coming in with bases loaded and no outs.
Oh yeah,
it's got to make you feel better.
Yeah, the stress on those each pitch is a little bit different.
That's correct. We got a left-handed batter stepping in to the left fielder is Drew Griffel. Is that the way?
Cliffel.
Okay. The number 9 hitter, and so here's the first pitch, and going to be low for ball 1. Preston Van Dyke. Not sure where Van Dyke's from.
I think Atai.
I think that's right. And there's the pitch popped up and going to find its way out of play. The catcher comes back, but it finds a way out of play.
Not a lot of room, not a lot of foul territory.
Sure not. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Van Dyke into the stretch. There's a shot. There's going to be a shot down the left field line, but it out of play just a little bit. He went the other way. 1 ball and 2 strikes with 2 outs here in the top of the 7th.
Tropics only have 2 hits in the game.
Can't say enough about Dawson Crawford. Nice game he pitched.
Struck out 7. I think he may have walked 1.
And here's the pitch from Van Dyke. He comes a little bit side-arming and brings the count to 2-2.
And that's one thing different than we've seen in all the other games up to this is very few walks.
That's exactly right. And here's the pitch. And it's going to be a nice chopper. It's going to be at some trouble. And there's got him at first. And, boy, it was close, but he recorded and so we'll go to the bottom of the 7th and see if these Squirrels can pull this out. So we'll be back in a moment.
First State Community Bank has been named the #1 bank in Missouri by Forbes, and we think they might be onto something. When it comes to banking, we've always said that people should come first, and we hold true to that idea. Opening an account has never been easier. You can even do it online. We want our community to thrive, and that's why we put it in our name. So come bank with the certified best at First State Community Bank, serving our community because it's who we are.
What is Southeast Missouri? Let's try this again. You are Southeast Missouri. You make Southeast Missouri what it is. And Southeast Missouri is who we are. It's in our name. It's in our past. And with you, it's our future. Welcome home.
Well, Terry, as you call it in the basketball, it's crunch time. Bottom of the 7th, all tied up at 1 in this semifinal game. The winner will advance to play in the championship game, and the loser will play at the play-in game at 4 p.m. tomorrow.
Got the 5th, 6th, and 7th place hitters coming up. Anderson, Thornborough, and James.
Let's see if they can get something going against this tough pitcher, Nate Rue.
Nate Rue's been brilliant on the mound today. He's given up 1 hit.
There's that nice curveball for a swing and a miss. Strike 1.
1 hit, 9 strikeouts.
Strike 2. That curveball's come right back with it.
And been very efficient. He's starting in the 7th inning, and he's only thrown about 80 pitches.
Now, you couldn't ask for anything better than that. Nate Rue shakes off the catcher. Now he gets the pitch he wants, and here he comes in the dirt for ball 1. He wanted the fastball, and he brought it. I'll just say this, whoever advances to the championship game deserves it. Either team. They played very well. And they could play again.
I would expect them to play again.
I would too.
We've seen about every team play now, and these are the 2 best teams. That's the way the seedings have been set up. They set them up right. The 2 best teams are playing in the semis.
You're exactly right. As Ruth looks in, and it's a 1-ball, 2-strike count here in the bottom of the 7th. Here's the pitch, and there's a little shot, but second baseman corrals it to record the out. Out 1 in the bottom of the 7th. It's going to bring in Thornborough, the third baseman.
Struck out once, flied to 7, flied to left field his last time up.
We'll see if Dylan Thornborough can get something going with 1 out. As Rue looks in now, he brings it, and strike 1. Swing and a miss. This young man is fun to watch.
He is, and he's just been brilliant this afternoon.
Oh, I got that curveball cut back across the plate for strike 2. That thing is lethal.
Thornborough was bailing out.
He was.
The ball was coming right at him, and it just broke right across the plate.
0-2 with 1 out, and he shakes the catcher off. And here's the pitch. He finally got one he wants, and here's a fastball, and there's a shot to shortstop, fielded cleanly, and there's a throw across the plate, and got him for the second out.
Thornborough made it close at first.
Sure did.
That's one thing. We've talked about the base running of the Squirrels. What Aycorp did the last inning, and just an example there, they don't give up.
No.
They run hard all the time.
We'll see what happens here with Grant James as a foul ball for strike 1. Got Ben Bledsoe on deck.
James has struck out twice, swinging both times.
No balls and a strike, 2. Grant James, and here's the pitch, and he's popped it up. And I believe it's going to make its way out of play. No balls and 2 strikes. That's surprising that Rue has a 3.17 ERA.
I don't know who's hitting.
I don't either. 0-2 to James, and here's the pitch. And there's a shot to left field, and it's going to fall in there for a base hit, and we're going to have James going to second for a stand-up double. So here comes Bledsoe to the plate. The winning run standing out at second.
Could be the ticket to the regional.
Yeah, exactly.
Standing out there at second. That's only two hits. That's only the second hit the Squirrels have gotten.
Bledsoe hit the ball hard one inning, but right at the left fielder, I believe. And
he's got the ball. He has not been a strikeout victim. He flied out to left and grounded out to short.
So we'll see what Bledsoe can do with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th with the runner out on second, but Rue blew it by him for the first strike. And runner takes a nice lead off a second, brings it to Bledsoe. Bledsoe watches it. There's a ball 1. It evens the count. If you like intense baseball, this is your game today.
This is what I've been wanting to see this whole tournament. Is just a good, well played, well pitched ball game.
That's all strike, and he hits it to shortstop, but it's backhanded, and it's going to be a tough play to get him. And I believe he's safe. And here comes the winning run. The Squirrels take the win as James rounded third, and Minner. He never slowed down, and Bledsoe drove in the winning run, and that advances the Squirrels to the regional. Well, they're headed to the regional one way or another.
And again, the Squirrels base running.
Right. We talked about that the first game this year.
We talked about the first game. We've talked about in this tournament. James went to third, and he rounded it in the minute when that ball got 2 feet away from the first baseman. He was coming home. He never gave up. He was a good, smart, aggressive base running, and that's what won this game for the Squirrels.
What a ball game we have seen.
That and some brilliant pitching.
Yes, and you know, you just couldn't expect anything any better than the pitching that we had here today. That's going to send them down. The Tropics will go and play. They will play tomorrow at 4 o'clock. To have the opportunity to play the Squirrels again. It will be Tropics taking on the 16 and under Squirrels at 4, and we'll be here. And at 7 o'clock, the winner of that game will play the 19 and under for the championship. And what a game. That's all I can say.
Well,
what a game.
This is the type of game you just love to see. Just well played, well executed. The pitcher was superb.
Exactly.
Both pitchers were superb.
You know, Terry.
Van Dyke came in, after Crawford got the pitch count, had the lead. Van Dyke comes in, gets the last out, and he's the winning pitcher.
There you go. What a ball game. And we don't, at our age, get excited about too many things, but we did today, didn't we?
This is one of them.
This is one of over a call, and then this last. How could you couldn't draw it up any better for Ben Bledsoe.
This game had a lot of things. Had a lot of things that you like to see in the ball, and some things you don't like to see. But as far as the play of both teams and the performance of both pitchers, it was just that. It's just a great way to spend a Sunday afternoon.
And as good a game as Drew pitched, you couldn't ask for no better from that young man.
No, he pitched a great game.
Sure did. Well, listen, we appreciate everybody tuning in. We appreciate being part of the Squirrels tournament to win, and with the Tropics going to have an opportunity to still make it to the finals. But the Squirrels, another set of Squirrels, is going to try to have something to say about that.
Yeah, we don't know which set.
That's right.
We don't know if it's going to be the 18 under, 16 under. But one of the sets of Squirrels is going to have some say in what the Tropics do.
Yeah.
But the 19 under Squirrels will be in the championship game, and they will have a trip to the regionals.
Well, listen, it's been fun. We appreciate everybody tuning in to Aycorp Media, and we appreciate all the help that we get. These cameramen, these people keeping us online, and Terry, as we always say, we have the easiest part of it.
We sure do.
And so we'll catch you down the road. So good afternoon and good night.